Once you turn 60, the only reliable support is not family, but these 6 pillars. Life. You spend decades working hard, raising a family, being there for your kids, your friends, your community, and then, one day, you wake up, look around, and realize something's changed. Your kids? They're busy, caught up in their own responsibilities. Your friends? Some have moved away. Others are dealing with their own struggles. Even your spouse, if you have one, might not always be there the way they used to be. And suddenly, you start asking yourself, who can I really count on? The hard truth about aging. Here's something most people never prepare for. Family, while important, may not always be the rock-solid support system you expect. Not because they don't love you, but because life is unpredictable. People get busy. Relationships shift. And the older you get, the more you realize that depending on others, even those closest to you, isn't a guarantee. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. In fact, you have more control over your future than you think. Because while people may come and go, there are 6 powerful pillars that will never let you down. 6 foundations that, if you build them now, will give you strength, independence, and true peace of mind for years to come. And trust me, the last pillar I'll share, it's the most overlooked, yet the most powerful one of all. So stick with me, because by the end of this, you won't just feel prepared for the years ahead. You'll feel unstoppable. Now, let's talk about the first and most crucial pillar, your health. Pillar 1, your health, the foundation of everything. Let's talk about something that affects every single part of your life, your health. Because, my friend, once you hit 60, your body starts keeping score. When you were younger, you could get away with skipping sleep, eating junk food, or ignoring exercise. Your body was resilient, bouncing back like a rubber band. But now, every unhealthy choice you made in the past is catching up with you. The stiffness in your joints, the fatigue that lingers, the extra pounds that don't come off as easily. These aren't just random annoyances. They're signs that your body needs your attention. The hard truth. If you don't take care of your health now, you risk losing everything that makes life enjoyable. Your independence, your freedom, your ability to do the things you love. But don't worry, because it's never too late to take charge of your health. And the best part? You don't need extreme diets or grueling workouts. Simple, consistent habits can transform the way you feel every day. Here's how to take charge of your health. Movement is non-negotiable. Now, I'm not saying you need to run marathons or spend hours in the gym, but daily movement? That's the key. Walking, swimming, stretching, light strength training. These small actions keep your body functional. They protect your muscles, bones, and joints so you can keep living instead of just existing. Nutrition is your fuel. Your body is a machine, and what you put in determines how well it runs. Eat whole foods, healthy fats like olive oil and nuts, lean proteins and fresh vegetables. Ditch the processed foods, excess sugar, and too much salt. Your body will thank you with more energy, stronger immunity, and a sharper mind. Sleep is your superpower. Most people overlook sleep, but it's essential. It's when your body repairs itself. It's when your immune system strengthens. It even prevents memory loss. But if you're staying up late watching TV, scrolling your phone, or waking up multiple times a night, your body never gets the deep rest it needs. Fix this by establishing a bedtime routine, dimming the lights before bed, avoiding screens at night. You deserve to wake up refreshed, not exhausted. Is it too late to fix your health? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I've already made too many unhealthy choices. Is it too late? And my answer? Absolutely not. Your body is always ready to heal. Every healthy choice you make today is an investment in your future self. Engagement moment. So, before we move on, let me ask you, what's one small health habit that has made a difference in your life? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what's working for you. Now, let's talk about something just as critical. Your physical health is the foundation. But there's something else that can make or break your quality of life after 60. Your financial security. Because let's be honest, no matter how healthy you are, no matter how much energy you have, if you're constantly stressed about money, life isn't going to feel very fulfilling. So let's dive into Pillar 2. Financial security, your key to independence. Let's take a deep breath and talk about something that makes a lot of folks over 60 feel a little uneasy: money. Now, I know we didn't grow up talking about finances around the dinner table, did we? It was always just work hard, save what you can, and things will work out. But here's the truth most people don't hear until it's too late. Social Security alone? It's not enough. Healthcare costs keep rising. Groceries are more expensive. And don't even get me started on unexpected repairs or prescription bills. I've coached hundreds of older adults over the years. And let me tell you, the happiest retirees are not the richest. They're the ones who plan just enough to live on their own terms. So let's talk about how to build that freedom. Start with what you have. Whether you've saved for decades or you're starting late, it's okay. The key is to make your money work for you, not against you. Look into low-risk investments like index funds, bonds, or even rental property. If you're able, consider part-time work or monetizing a hobby. Bake, teach, consult, craft, whatever brings in a little extra and keeps you engaged. It's not about getting rich. It's about creating a buffer, a sense of control. Cut the silent drain, debt. Now listen, I say this with love. Debt is like carrying a backpack full of bricks into retirement. Those high-interest credit cards, loans, or even buy now, pay later deals, they're not worth the peace they steal. Start paying off what you can, especially the high-interest stuff. Every balance you eliminate is like reclaiming a little more freedom. And if you're already debt-free, good for you. Stay that way. Say no to new obligations that don't serve your future. Plan for what you can't predict. You know what costs more than almost anything else in our later years? Healthcare. Sure, Medicare helps. But what about dental? Hearing aids, home assistance, long-term care? This is where supplemental insurance or a health savings account, HSA, can be a lifesaver. It's not glamorous, but it's smart. And if you haven't already looked into long-term care insurance, now might be the time. You'll be glad you did later. So, why does this all matter? Because when your finances are in order, you wake up every morning with peace of mind. No panic about bills, no guilt about treating yourself, no fear of becoming a financial burden, just freedom. The freedom to travel, to enjoy your hobbies, to give generously if you want to. Financial security is about having choices. And at this stage of life, Choices are everything. So tell me, what's one financial lesson you wish you'd learned earlier? Drop it in the comments. I know others will benefit from your experience. Now, finances give you freedom. But let me ask you this. What good is financial independence if you still feel like you're always relying on others to get through the day? Let's talk about something even more personal, your self-reliance. Coming up next, Pillar 3, Self-Reliance, the overlooked key to true freedom. Pillar 3, Self-Reliance, the overlooked key to true freedom. Let's take a moment and really sit with this one. Self-reliance. Just hearing those words might stir something in you. A sense of pride, maybe, or a little fear. Because let's be honest, we were raised in a time when people took care of each other. Families stuck together. Neighbors looked out for one another. And yes, there's a certain beauty in that. But here's the hard truth. Life is unpredictable. Your spouse might not always be able to help. Your children love you, but they're busy, overwhelmed, and often living far away. And friends? Well, they're navigating their own aging journeys too. So let me tell you something from 50 years of life coaching experience. The more self-reliant you are, the freer you become. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. So, how do you build self-reliance? Let's start with something simple. Learn practical skills. You don't need to become a handyman overnight, but knowing how to unclog a drain, reset your Wi-Fi, or use online banking, that's power. Learn how to navigate your smartphone. Understand your utility bills. Set up automatic payments. And if you don't know how to do something, ask. Take a free class at your local library. Ask a tech-savvy grandkid. Or heck, look it up on YouTube. There's no shame in learning, only strength. Stay informed. Do you fully understand your health care coverage, your retirement rights? What happens if you need in-home care or help with daily activities? Knowledge is your armor. Don't wait until a crisis forces you to figure it all out. Be proactive. Know what Medicare does and doesn't cover. Understand your legal documents, your will, power of attorney, and medical directives. Review your insurance and benefits regularly. When you're informed, you make decisions. You don't just react. Be your own advocate, especially in healthcare. You know your body better than anyone. If something feels off, speak up. Ask your doctor questions. Take notes. Bring someone with you if you need to, but always be the one steering the ship. And in life decisions, don't sit back and hope someone else has the answers. Trust yourself. You've made it this far. You've faced life's hardest seasons. You've earned the right to take charge. Now, think about this. Self-reliance isn't about doing everything alone. It's about doing what you can with what you have, and knowing that even if support does come, it's a bonus, not a necessity. There's a quiet confidence that comes with knowing, I can handle this. So, let me ask you, friend, what's one practical skill you've learned or want to learn that would make you more independent? Share it in the comments. You might inspire someone else today. Now, being self-reliant is freeing. But there's one thing that adds depth and meaning to your independence. Something that lights a fire inside your soul and gives you a reason to wake up with a smile. Coming up next, Pillar 4, a purpose that fuels you. Ready when you are. Absolutely, my friend. Let's keep this going with the same heart, depth, and flow you love. Now it's time to talk about something that nourishes your spirit, keeps your mind sharp, and brings a deep sense of meaning to each day. Pillar 4. A purpose that fuels you, the key to mental and emotional well-being. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up, stared at the ceiling, and thought, now what? You've retired. The kids are grown. The daily hustle is behind you. And while there's comfort in the quiet, there's also a question hanging in the air. What gives my life meaning now? You see, many people dream of retirement as this endless vacation. No alarm clocks, no schedules, just rest. And yes, that sounds nice at first. But after a few weeks, that stillness can turn into emptiness. The days start to blur. The joy fades, and you begin to feel like you're drifting. That, my friend, is what I call the retirement trap. And the only way out is purpose. So what is purpose? It doesn't have to be some grand mission. You don't need to start a charity, write a novel, or change the world. Purpose is simply this: waking up and knowing there's something worth doing, something that lights you up inside, something that makes you feel like you. Here's how to rediscover your purpose. Start by going backward. Rediscover old passions. What did you love to do when you were younger, before work and responsibilities took over? Painting, photography, gardening, woodworking? Now's the time to bring it back. Dust it off. Rekindle that fire. Share your wisdom. You've lived a full life. You've been through things, learned lessons, gained experience. Why keep it all bottled up? Mentor someone. Volunteer to tutor. Lead a workshop or small group. Sharing your knowledge not only helps others, it reminds you that you still matter. Because you do. Keep learning. Stay curious. Age is not a limit. It's a launch pad. Take an online class. Read a new book. Learn a new language. Travel to a place you've never seen. The moment you stop learning is the moment life starts to shrink. But the more you stay engaged, the more alive you feel. Why purpose matters so much. Here's something powerful. Studies show that people with a strong sense of purpose have better mental health, lower risk of Alzheimer's, higher energy, and even live longer. Your brain, your heart, your immune system, they all respond to purpose. It's not just emotional, it's biological. So tell me, my friend, what's one thing you've always wanted to do, but never had time for? Now that you do have time, what's stopping you? Drop it in the comments. This is your chapter. Now, once you've got purpose, life feels rich again. But even with meaning in your heart, challenges will come. And to face them head on, you'll need something even stronger. Coming up next, Pillar 5, a resilient mindset. Let's keep going. You're doing great. Pillar 5, a resilient mindset, your shield against life's challenges. All right, let's get real for a moment. Because while we've talked about your body, your money, your purpose, none of it matters if your mind isn't in the right place. Aging, despite what the commercials try to sell you, isn't all sunsets and cruise ships. It's change, it's loss, it's transition. And let's be honest, it's hard. You lose people you love. You face new health challenges. The world seems to move faster, and sometimes you just feel left behind. But here's the truth. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive comes down to one thing: resilience. So, what is resilience really? It's not pretending everything's fine. It's not plastering on a fake smile when you're hurting. Resilience is the quiet strength to keep going, even when life feels heavy. It's choosing to get up again when you've been knocked down. It's learning to bend, not break. And the good news? It's not something you're born with. It's something you can build. How to strengthen your resilient mindset. Let's start up. Practice gratitude daily. I know. It sounds cliche. But let me tell you, this one habit is life-changing. Every morning, take just 2 minutes. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not big things, little ones. Your morning coffee, a phone call from a friend, the sunlight through the window. When you focus on what you have, you train your brain to see the good even when life is tough. Embrace change instead of resisting it. Look, none of us like change, but it's coming, whether we're ready or not. So instead of saying, I miss how things used to be, try saying, what's possible now? Because change isn't the end. It's an invitation to grow. Stay curious, stay engaged, stay open. One of the biggest traps after 60 is this idea that we're too old to change, too old to learn, too old to try something new. Let me tell you something loud and clear. That's a lie. You're never too old to grow. Start a new hobby, learn a skill, meet new people, change your routine. Because every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're expanding your world and building mental strength in the process. Why this pillar matters so much. A resilient mindset doesn't just help you survive aging, it helps you enjoy it. It gives you the power to face loss, illness, loneliness, or uncertainty without being crushed by it. It reminds you that no matter what, you are still in control of your story. What's one challenge you've overcome in the last few years that made you stronger? Share it in the comments. We learn from each other here. All right, you've got the mindset, you've got the tools. But there's one more piece that brings it all together. Because no matter how strong you are, no one is meant to go through life alone. Coming up next, Pillar 6, a strong community. The key to a longer, happier life. Let me tell you something I've learned in over 50 years of working with older adults. Loneliness is just as dangerous as any chronic disease. In fact, studies show that social isolation increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, and even dementia. That's not an exaggeration. It's science. And yet, so many people over 60 find themselves alone more often than they ever expected. But here's the tricky thing. Loneliness doesn't always show up as sadness. Sometimes it looks like long stretches of silence, or days when your phone doesn't ring. Sometimes it's just that quiet ache in your chest, even when everything seems fine on the outside. And here's the truth, my friend. We were never meant to age alone. We need connection, not just for our emotional well-being, but for our health and longevity. So how do we build that kind of meaningful connection after 60? Here are some simple, life-changing steps. 1. Reconnect with old friends. Think of one person you've lost touch with. A childhood friend, a former coworker, a neighbor. Send a message, make the call. You never know. They might be waiting for you to reach out too. 2. Join groups, clubs, or local activities. Look for things that light you up. A walking group, a book club, a fitness class, a volunteer opportunity. Get out of the house and into places where conversations flow naturally. You don't need a million friends, just a few meaningful ones. 3. Embrace technology. Yes, I know, it can be frustrating. But if your kids or grandkids live far away, FaceTime and Zoom can bridge that distance. Social media? Used wisely, it helps you stay in the loop. and meet others with shared interests. Don't fear it. Learn it. It's a tool for connection, not isolation. 4. Give more than you get. Here's a little secret. The fastest way to feel connected is to give. Volunteering, mentoring, supporting a cause you care about. When you help others, you not only feel useful, you feel alive. Purpose and community go hand in hand. When was the last time you truly connected with someone? Not through a screen, but heart to heart. If it's been a while, maybe today's the day to reach out, because real happiness doesn't come from wealth or even health. It comes from knowing you're not alone. All right, my friend, let's take a moment to breathe and reflect. You've just discovered the 6 pillars that can support you like nothing else after 60. 1. Health, your foundation. 2. Financial security, your freedom. 3. Self-reliance, your power. 4. Purpose, your fuel. 5. Resilience, your armor. 6. Community, your heart. Notice something? Not one of these pillars depends on someone else. They all begin with you. That's not scary. That's liberating. Because it means you don't have to wait for anyone to show up for you. You have the power to create a life that's strong, joyful, and deeply fulfilling, starting today. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these 6 pillars do you feel strongest in? And which one do you want to focus on next? Let me know in the comments. Let's grow together. And hey, stay close, because we've got more powerful tools and heart-to-heart talks coming your way. Until next time, be well, stay strong, and always remember this: the best part of your story, it's still being written.